Howdy! A little loud. There we go. Let me get this mic set up. Hey, y'all. It's me, Calder. I'm at home where I do most of my work. And welcome to the final weekend of the Blueberry Jam. It's been pretty long. It's been pretty fun, hopefully. Hope everybody's stuff is panning out pretty well. I'll show off what I'm working on in just a couple minutes, but before that, before everyone else can show off what they want to, whatever they were working on as well, I'm just going to go over a few things about submission, about our sort of end of ceremony, and about our sort of remaining classes. First things first, deadline is midnight on the 25th. If it fudges, don't worry, but that's the way the itch is going to handle it. So what you'll want to do, and I'm going to switch to my computer real quick and hide my Discord because y'all need to see that, is go over here. Obviously, if you've already joined, this join jam thing is going to instead say submit, and just submit your game over here on the itch.io/ckblueberryjam. We'll be able to download everything from the itch pretty easily, but if that doesn't work out for you, of course, you can always just send it to me at CrawlDoor on our Discord, and I will absolutely do what needs to happen in order to get things working. Additionally, since we're doing arcade games, and since that might actually involve writing data to our computer for things like high scores and things like that, if you guys are having trouble with that, just tell me. And don't worry about getting that stuff done. We can get that stuff done over the week coming into the next week. I don't think it's a big deal. I don't really care if you guys want to edit these things afterwards anyway, but most importantly, if you guys are pulling any hair about sort of save data and high score tracking and stuff like that, we'll work with each other throughout the next week so we can focus on making your core mechanics and your actual gameplay loop as good as it can possibly be, and your aesthetics and everything else, and the sort of logistical not fun stuff that might be machine dependent. I'll just work with you to make sure that stuff works out. With that said, initially, and we figured this out, and I've said this again, but I just want to keep repeating it, is instead of sort of having our end of ceremonies on this coming Sunday, we learned last time around in Cranberry Jam that that doesn't really work out. We want to work as hard as we can, and even if we host a stream, chances are everyone's going to be sort of cramming to get their stuff done anyway, so hosting that stream won't really make a lot of sense. It'll tear people away from development time, and in those last precious hours, people are really working pretty hard. So we're not going to have our end of ceremony on that Sunday, but the coming Sunday, hopefully, we'll have the ending ceremony stream, and there is a slight potential that we'll also be able to have something in person at Sea Cave if City Hall cooperates and certain inspections actually happen on time. If they don't happen on time, I'll keep everyone up to date in the Jam channel, and if you'd like to come, just let me know. There is a potential that I might have to literally have a little invite list for safe COVID reasons. Of course, if we have it, everyone will be masked, everything will be done responsibly and to the letter. But if it can't happen, I'll also make sure everybody knows about that. In addition, whether or not it even happens in person, of course it'll happen on stream, so I can show off what everyone's made. And get a platform for everyone, kind of celebrate. We'll have silly, goofy awards to give out, like sweetest vibe and raddest tunes and things like that. Nothing consequential, no big prizes, but just fun accolades at the end, so you can be proud. With that said, I'm gonna open up the meetup voice. I'm going to keep myself muted, but I'm going to listen to everyone who comes in from here. And if you guys have any projects you want to show off, or you have any questions, join me in the Meetup voice channel in the Discord. It'll go over here on the stream and just pop in and say hello. If you guys have any other questions, you don't feel like getting in that channel, you don't have a mic, the chat is perfectly fine as well. Just pop in here, send a message. I'm reading it in between stuff. But while we wait on potentially anyone else to share their stuff, I don't know if everybody wants to share their stuff, I'll show off what I've been working on a little bit. And just going to make sure it all comes up. Alright, so we went with a theme of our Team Cool Guys. Our theme is Operation Octopator Cullinator. The idea is you're an octopus who has to manage all the duties of back of house work in a restaurant, which includes cooking, prep, working your butt off, plating food, putting sauce together, making things, etc. And, well, things are still a little early days because a lot of us had work and other stuff we had to work on during the past week. We have had time to sort of rev up a lot of our stuff now. A lot of our assets are kind of getting there. We decided to make our assets fairly simple, just use a simple color palette, and don't worry too much about how many subdivisions and stuff in there. Almost all of these assets are by Read Word, I think, in our Discord. Oh, look at that. There's a little seam here. Well, I didn't even notice that. We're gonna watch an on-the-fly fix pretty soon. But just making stuff. There's some endgons here. I'm gonna get them for that. But a lot of easy texturing, but I think it's slowly starting to look nice. We used sprite tile to do this floors and these walls, and the whole thing is, the way the game controls is, you swap between each one of your tentacles. And so player 1 can move this guy, or this guy, or this guy, or this guy, but the catch is you can only move one at a time while you have 1,000 tasks that you have to kind of do. So we can go over here, we can pick that up, hopefully. Well, there's a null reference. This is already extremely buggy, but hopefully a lot of that's going to be fixed tonight. Anyways, you can pick up things, move them around, go to your station. Let's see if the station cooperates. It probably won't. It kind of does. Alright, put it out of the station, do your work. We got our action button and stuff like that to do that later on. Pick it up, move it around. And eventually you'll fry it, you'll pick it up. And that's hopefully what we'll get done tonight. You can pick up other objects. I don't know if so we don't have anything to pick up the spatula with yet, but hopefully that will be something we'll get done soon. A lot of fixing stuff that's going on right now. Other idea is that it is potentially 2-player. So of course these two sides can move in unison. So player 2 can move his tentacles while player 1 can move his tentacles. Player 2 moving the tentacles to the right. Player 1 moving the tentacles to the left. But if you're a psychopath and you got some really good split brain gaming going on, you can potentially move both. You can be this weirdo who's really moving these guys around, and that's how we'll separate our player 1 experience and our 2-player experience. But yeah, with that said, this is already a buggy, silly mess, and it's definitely, the hard work is coming in real fast for us. But, I don't know. I like our theme. I think it's silly, and I'm pretty excited to see where we go with this going forward. That said, if everyone else doesn't really want to share their stuff or doesn't have any questions, I'm not going to keep everyone too long. I just wanted to make those initial announcements and see if anyone wanted to show off what they were working on, because that's the thing that we kind of missed last time when we were doing Cranberry Jam is it was a little bit of a bummer that we couldn't sort of share all our work the same way we would in an in-person jam, where we just kind of be walking around and looking at everyone's things and commenting and maybe even learning from each other. And it's harder to do that in a virtual jam. And if we end up keep doing aspects of our jams virtually in the future, we'd want some way to sort of get people talking between each other, because that is fundamentally the most fun part, I think, at least, of hosting a game jam is you get to meet like-minded individuals and, figure out each other's creative processes and sort of get better as a result. We're going to keep trying to figure out ways to do that virtually as we go forward. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen the next? Even though things do seem better, hopefully, who knows what happens in the next few months, weeks, etc. So while of course we would like Strawberry Jam, our summer idea, to have as much in-person stuff as possible, I'm going to bet on the idea that we'll probably not be completely good to go on that end, and hopefully we'll try to figure out ways to kind of organize better around that. That said, what else? What else can I mention to y'all while I'm still here? Those of y'all who didn't find a team, I was hoping other people would show up here. I noticed a lot of the people who are looking for help or looking to help out a team are artists or musicians. I might need some help with music going forward, so if I'll post in the team stuff and ask if anyone's willing to do that. Art-wise, I can ask the teams that I know of and see if I can contact them about getting y'all some stuff to do. If you really want to get some stuff done this weekend, just message me, and I will try my best to message everyone I know who's in a team in order to make sure you get on one. But that is also something that we definitely need to address a little bit better in the future, and I'm a little bummed that I didn't address it better this time around. Again, that's something that's a lot easier on an in-person jam thing, so we can literally just make people talk to each other and sort of get that sort of problem solved. Pretty lickety split, but unfortunately, I guess it's a little harder to get people to walk up and talk to people online, and I will always be taking oh, awesome. Well, if you want to show your stuff off, let me know. Fall Gaia. But yeah, if you guys have any suggestions on how we can better improve that, feedback's always open. That's fine. Neither is mine. Nothing seems very playable at the moment on my end. I have been creeping in on some other teams' progress, and I've seen some good stuff, but I'm not gonna put them on blast unless they want. With that said, yeah, always open for feedback, always open for help. When we set these things up, there's probably there's 3 of us who really get the whole organization of this running. We'd always be happy to have other people help organize when we go ahead and try to get these things done. Always happy to get feedback. Always happy to get more people involved in the New Orleans game dev sort of group, especially as we sort of seek to grow a little bit more over this year. With that said, well, what else? I mean, I can hang around here and I can show you more of this stuff. Principal stuff is pretty much done for the meeting. So I might just wrap it up here. Short meeting. Seems like everyone else is probably just getting to work. So I'll try to have... Oh yeah, classes. That's the last thing. Sorry to keep you guys on the hold about that. So I'm going to try to get my last rigging and animation class in tomorrow. I'm going to do it earlier in the afternoon, so if y'all have more time to get things done. Umbra is pretty good. I actually work with him in tooling, so be happy to help anyone out. You should specify if it's 2D or 3D, but I'll go to the other teams and ask around a little bit for you. But oh yeah, class is gonna have a rigging and animation and importing into Unity, specifically in Blender, tomorrow, probably around. I shoot maybe even in the morning around 11, maybe around noon. I just want to get it done, so if there are any other courses we may have, that I can make room for it, and if you guys are working, you'll have time to go in and implement these things as part of your work. That said, I don't think I have too much else to bring up. Umber saying here that he has mostly 3D experience, but is interested in doing pixel art stuff if y'all need it. That stuff's really good, even if you're not doing a pixel game. I use pixel art all the time for little things like particle effects. I'll show it off right now. You can do a lot with just simple frame-by-frame animation in any sort of what's called game dev tool. Additionally, pixel art is what I'm using for these walls. I'm using something called Sprite Tile, and you can literally just paint with it. Let's see. Let's go to my bigger version of this. So we'll go to Walls and Floors, and Sprite Tile just lets me build these little painting options, pretty much from pixel art I've made in the past, and then I can just paint it, put it on a wall, make an environment just out of the stuff that I used here. So I guess if the ceiling of this diner was tile for some reason, you would see something like this, which actually makes me think it might look nice to have a little bit of a tile like border along the bottom of this, and then go into the sort of wallpaper that I might actually sort of work out. Oh, well, you two should talk to each other then. Yeah, I mean, the good thing about your process there, Fall Gaia, is pretty easy for someone to pop in if you need any artistic help. But yeah, it's fun, the amount of things you can do with pixel art. I'm going to show real quick how I used pixel art in the past to do particle effects. We can just go in, I think it's on my prefabs here, so let's go to Assets. Sorry, I'm a messy person. And it shows up in everything I do. Anyways, so we go to Ricochet Crab here. I think if we go into here, we should find our particle generator somewhere on here. Yeah, there we go. So what I did is I made a fairly simple sprite animation of bubbles and had a progression system based on the lifetime here, and then just use the alpha channel to make sure it goes behind it, and you can kind of see that the bubble widens and bursts when you're looking at it. Yeah, pixel art never really feels entirely not useful to me. There's always stuff that you can implement with it, so find fun ways to use it. There's always fun ways to use any art. I think one of the things people really don't understand about Unity is it is a multimedia engine, maybe first, and a game engine second. So you can bring almost anything into here. You can bring in video. You can bring in if you find a way, you can make things claymation fairly easily. I've used real assets before in bringing stuff into Unity, and it's super fun to sort of mess around with what you can implement in a game. With that said, I think I've rambled enough here. I'm going to probably put you two in contact with each other, potentially, if y'all wouldn't mind. I'll go into, what's it called, team making in our thing. If you guys are just checking in otherwise, thanks for watching, y'all. And I think Hylix Well, first of all, you need to learn about the Neverhood. But Hylics was Hylics Unity? I don't know. Let's see. Do you know how Hylics games were made? Wow. RPG Maker, and 2 was in Unity. Yeah, 2 was made in Unity, or at least according to this stranger on Reddit, and that. But yeah, if you're looking for more games that use, what's it called, Claymation, you gotta find out about the Neverhood, which is a little bit of a bummer in some ways if you follow the person who made it, Doug TenApple, but otherwise an absolutely beautiful game with like totally weird aesthetics and like really great music. Clay Fighter is another good example, yeah. But yeah, like they just made sprites kind of the same way that Donkey Kong Country works. And really, you can distill a lot of things to sprites. You just need like better. I mean, cameras have improved in such incredible quality that phone cameras at this point you can actually use to make a pretty decent photogrammetric modeling. There's a lot of things you can do, so always try to figure out fun ways to put weird stuff in your game. By the way, this game rules. Has one of my favorite soundtracks any game I've ever played. It is absolutely goofy. A wonderful, wonderful mess. But with that said, I'm not going to talk too much about how much I love the Neverhood. I love the Neverhood. It's a really good game. God, I wish Doug TenApple wasn't a jerk. Anyways, Doug TenApple is a jerk. I want to get back to programming. Honestly, I want to fix up my game a little bit more, and I'm sure everyone else has things they got to get back to. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap things up. I'm gonna try to get you two in contact with each other. Sounds like maybe you guys could work together. And I'll ask anyone else in there that if there's something they can do. And if not, Michael, I'll try to find you someone else. With that said, yeah, good night, y'all. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for chatting. And I'll see y'all, I guess I'll see y'all sporadically throughout the week. And that's the last one.